of our Divine Mother from the book The Mother, Volume 11, Notes on the Way from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, page 148, topic Superman Consciousness, Smiling, Benevolent, 1st January 1969. About the descent of what Mother later identified as the Superman consciousness, our Divine Mother says, in the night it came slowly, and on waking up this morning there was as though a golden dawn, and the atmosphere was so light, the body felt, well, it is truly new, a golden light, transparent and benevolent. Benevolent in the sense of a certainty, a harmonious certainty. It was new. There you are. And when I say Boniani to people, it is this which I pass on to them. And this morning I have passed my time like this, spontaneously saying Boniani, Boniani. So 4th Jan 1969. Our Divine Mother says, on the first, something truly strange happened, and I was not the only one to feel it. Some others also have felt it. It was just after midnight, but I felt it at 2 o'clock, and the others at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was last time I spoke to you a few words about it. But what is surprising is that it had absolutely no correspondence at all to anything I was expecting. I was expecting nothing to the other things which I had felt. It was something very material. It was very external, and it was luminous with a golden light. It was very strong, very powerful, but even so, its character was a smiling benevolence, a peaceful delight, and a kind of opening out into delight and light. And it was like a Boni Annie, like a greeting. It took me by surprise. It lasted for at least 3 hours. I felt it. Afterwards, I was no longer busy with it. I do not know what happened. But I told you a word or two about it. I spoke of it also to 2 or 3 persons. They all had felt it. That is to say, it was very material. They all had felt it like this, a kind of joy, but a joy friendly, powerful, and very gentle, very smiling, very benevolent. I do not know what it is. But it is a kind of benevolence, therefore. It was something very close to the human, and it was so concrete, as though it had a savor, so concrete it was. Afterwards, I did not occupy myself with it anymore, except that I spoke to 2 or 3 persons about it. All had felt it. Now, I do not know if it is mixed or if it has not departed. One does not feel as though the thing came in order to go back. And our Divine Mother says it was very much more external than anything. I feel usually much more external, very little mental. That is to say, there was no feeling of a promise, or no, it would rather be my own impression was that of an immense personality. Immense, that is to say, for it the earth was small, smoke like this, and our Divine Mother gives a gesture as though holding a small ball in her palm, like a ball, an immense personality, very, very benevolent, which came for, and then Mother seems to lift this ball gently from the hollow of her hands. It gave the impression of a personal divinity, and yet it was, I don't know who comes to help, and so strong, and at the same time so gentle and all-embracing, and it was very external. The body felt it everywhere, and Mother touches her face, her hands, everywhere. What has become of it, I don't know. It was the beginning of the year, as if someone having the dimension of a god came to say Boniani with all the power to make it a Boniani. It was like this, but what was it? So concrete. It is the personality, because it had no form. I did not see any form. There was only what it brought. and mother feels the atmosphere, the sensation, the feeling, these two, sensation and feeling. And I asked myself, if it was not the supramental personality, who will then manifest himself later in material forms? Our Divine Mother says the body, this body feels since that moment the thing has entered into everywhere deeply. It feels much more joyous, less concentrated, more lively in a happy, smiling expansiveness. For example, it is speaking more easily. There is a note, a constant note of benevolence, a smile, yes, a benevolent smile, and all that of a great force. You felt nothing? I had a feeling of contentment that day, was the sadhak's reply. For this, our Divine Mother says, it is that. Yes, it is that. Is it the supramental personality that will incarnate itself in all those who had a supramental body? For this, our Divine Mother says, it was luminous, smiling, so benevolent through powerfulness. That is to say, generally in the human being, benevolence is something like a very weak, in this sense that it does not like battle, it does not like fight. But this is nothing of that kind. A benevolence that imposes itself. Mother brings her fist down upon the arms of her chair. It has interested me because it is altogether new and so concrete like this. And mother touches the arms of her chair like that, what the physical consciousness usually considers as others, concrete like that. That is to say, it did not pass through an inner being, through the psychic being. It came directly upon the body. What is it? Perhaps it is this. Since it came, the feeling of the body is a kind of a certitude as though now it was no longer an anxiety or uncertainty to know what will the supramental be like physically, what will it be physically like. The body used to ask itself, now it does not think of it anymore, it is contented. Question, is it something that will suffice the bodies that are ready? For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, I believe. Yes, I have the feeling that it is the formation which is going to enter, going to express itself to express itself in the bodies that will be the bodies of the supramental, or perhaps the Superman. The intermediary between the two, perhaps the Superman. It was very human, but a human in a divine proportion. A human without weakness, without shadow. It was all light, all smiling and sweetness at the same time. Perhaps it's a Superman. And then there's a silence. Question, I do not know why for the last few moments I have been telling myself insistently, people who will not know how things have really occurred will say when this supramental force will have entered the earth atmosphere, will have entered into them, they will say, oh well, it is we who have done all that. And then mother laughs and says, probably. Question, it is we, it is our fine humanity that has flawed. For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, surely it was always like that. That is why I say that after all, we are here, every one of us, and we have finally to face all the difficulties, but it is a grace, for we shall know how, and we shall not cease to be. Is it not so? We shall know how the thing was done. 8th Jan 1969. Question, did I tell you that I identified this consciousness? When you spoke last time, you had identified it. Yes, but I had said the supramental consciousness. Afterwards, you said perhaps the Superman. For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, it is that. It is the descent of the Superman consciousness. I had the assurance later on. It was the 1st of January after midnight. I woke up at 2 in the morning, surrounded by a consciousness so concrete, so new in the sense that I had never felt it before. And it lasted absolutely concrete, present for 2 or 3 hours. Afterwards, it spread out and went about to find people who could receive it. And I knew that it was the consciousness of the Superman, that is to say, the intermediary between man and the supramental being, that has given to the body a kind of assurance, confidence. That experience has, as it were, stabilized the body, and if it keeps the true attitude, every support is there to help it. These are the words of our Divine Mother.
la vérité éternelle permet que nous n'obéissions qu'à toi et que nous vivions selon la vérité. Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth.